Okay, so the first question is, according to ASCD, in an age of accountability and budget cuts, principals are increasingly asked to lead professional development in new and relevant ways. With the landscape of K-12 education changing at exponential rates, how can you challenge your teachers to grow professionally? So, to challenge teachers to grow professionally in a rapid changing of K-12 educational landscape, principals must adopt basically a visionary yet practical leadership approach. Basically, this means creating a culture of continuous learning, modeling professional growth as they should, and strategically aligning development opportunities with both students' needs and teacher goals. So, one way is to establish a culture of continuous professional learning. Basically, encourage reflective practice and open dialogue around instruction. Celebrate innovation, risk taking, and learning from failure. We have a lot of teachers currently that we're on summer break, but a lot of teachers, yeah, they're scared to fail. We're all scared to fail, but that's how we learn. So being able to let them learn from failure helps them grow to become a better teacher, a better individual in the educational setting. Teachers need to understand that it's okay to fail. We all fail, and we just have to keep moving forward and learning from those failures. Another one is, provide relevant, personalized development opportunities. Offer choice of PD. I know that when we had PD, we have district PD, and then our school, Tompkins PD. So when we have our actual school PD, the principal puts certain things together that she feels that are relevant or pertinent to what the teacher should be learning. When it's district led, they have their goals and specific agendas that they generally put out yearly. Sometimes it's the same thing over and over, which should probably change because culture changes. Just everything changes continuously. So PD should be based off of what needs to be learned during that year. Also, leverage teacher leadership. So encourage teachers to lead workshops, PLCs, and curriculum teams. We do have something called Pump It Up PE. Generally, we have 5 district PE teachers, and those PE teachers go around certain days to certain schools, and that's when those Pump It Up PEs, PLCs, when they occur. And generally, a learning director is the one that leads them, but because of budget cuts, we don't have those anymore. So now the principal does them, but the principal, from what I've seen, she just, kind of just oversees them. And the teachers get together, and they're the ones that, talk about the certain curriculum, certain things that have came out and how they're going to deal with it. So, let me see. The next question, some specific strategies. So, create and support professional learning communities. So, encourage collaboration, continuous reflection, and collective problem solving. Collaboration is one thing that is important that I feel that all teachers should be doing. We do have a lot of collaboration occurring, but there are certain grades that I know it's petty, but they just don't get along, so they have trouble collaborating and coming to certain consensuses. They're constantly complaining, but that's, currently it's not my problem. It's the principal's problem, and that's a whole nother story. Implementing instructional coaching. Generally, that's what the learning director did, but unfortunately, we don't have one anymore, so it is the responsibility of the principal to do it. And differentiate professional development, offering multiple learning pathways based on teacher needs, interest, and experience level. This helps out with teacher growth. that is something that should also be implemented, and promoting teacher leadership during like, PD sessions. So the next question is, how will you create a growth mindset and challenges teachers to adapt to ongoing changes at work? Um, Model a growth mindset as a leader. That's very important. Be transparent, admitting mistakes, and celebrate progress. Also, normalize risk taking and innovation. Create safe spaces for trying new strategies without fear of judgment. That one's, I think it all comes down, and to like leadership, the principal. The principal is who sets the tone. And, our principal's a great principal. She knows what she's talking about, but, unfortunately, she's a bit unapproachable. And, a lot of the teachers fear her, which if you get to know her, you wouldn't. But uh, if you could just, I don't know how to explain it without making her seem like she's a bad person. It's just like, she's just unapproachable. So I think that a lot of the staff, if she was more approachable, they would come with her with ideas and make a cohesive working environment. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Let's see. And so overall, one more thing is recognizing and celebrating growth. I feel that, and that we should do that more. Well, not we. If I was in the administrator, I would. It's all about being able to um, see everything as, in a positive and phase. Just being more positive helps, others be more positive, instead of, seeing the good things instead of the bad things can change the culture. And I think that if not, being scared to fail, we shouldn't, because we're human. And being able to, to say it's okay, let's try this method, that didn't work, let's try this other method. Actually, it works. That's how people learn. You learn from your mistakes. And being able to have a leader that, helps out, and, is okay with people failing and then helping them succeed, is what every school needs. So that is my answers. Thank you.